Hello everyone, welcome to the Upper Hand Trader channel. I hope you're all doing well. I just wanted to give you a quick update here on the stock situation. So yesterday we were mentioning that stochastics on H4 and H1 were looking like a possible setup for the short, with the daily, weekly and monthly being oversold. It was a strong move. We had an invalidation level for the entry above these last highs. Obviously, I pushed through without giving us any entry signal. So that potential entry at that level was invalidated. So now, what's the situation that we have? So as we can see, the movement, the up movement on H1 and H4 started to disturb the daily. That's what I'm talking about when we're looking into a more of a trend change situation. It doesn't mean it's going to change the trend of the weekly and the monthly, but it's certainly disturbing the daily. So as it is right now, our next option for short is the following. If we look at the daily chart, we have first on the weekly, we have this large channel down, and then on the daily, we have a smaller channel down here, right? So many lows here. If reflect that line with the high, we have that channel created there, and what happens here is that we have the weekly still oversold, and the daily is now starting to recover. So what we would be looking for now, yesterday we were looking for potential entry where H1 would come across the H4 below this level. That did not happen, so it pushed through, and now the next potential setup is something similar to this one here. So which will probably take us, this up movement here should take us to around this 200 EMA here, which matches with this support level here, or resistance level in this case, but it's these highs with these lows and the 200 EMA, as well as with the downtrend. And around here, as it stands on the monthly and weekly, we'd be looking for a short, because this is stochastics again. Before this weekly and this monthly will go up, they have to breathe and come down. So these will come down. It's just a matter of when. And obviously we don't have to try to enter before they start coming down. And what I would recommend in this situation, and this is the same if we look at, this is the NASDAQ we're looking at. If we look at the Dow, the situation is very similar on the stochastics, and on the price, the S&P is the same, and so is the FTSE. FTSE, just the monthly is still coming down, it's not oversold yet, in the DAX, but they are all very similar. They all move in similar fashion, and we would be looking at the same thing on all of them. So back to the NASDAQ, like if we're looking at this situation here, for example, this is the H4 time frame. This is the next potential trade we can have here. This is the daily, right, on stochastics. The chart is 4 hour. If I click here, we're gonna have this 4 hour shown here. So right here, we had a similar opportunity to what might be coming now. So the entry here was on this, the close of this candle here, or even the next, we had the stochastics on 4 hour crossing below the daily with and this is very important, with the weekly and the monthly oversold. This is a very strong bearish signal, and we can ride that trade until the stochastic crosses above again, above the daily and the 20 level again. So we would ride this trade from here to about here. There was 330 points there. Now I'm looking for it to happen again here as this stands. If the weekly and the daily remain as they are when this cross happens, it's a very good short opportunity, right? I'll show you on the Dow and on the S&P how it happened before as well. So on the S&P, for example, if we load it here, you can see that the crossing happened there, and we could have ridden it all the way to about here, right? So again, roughly 100 points there. And this is the same thing we're looking for again. And I mean, sorry, I forgot to mention here. This is one exit option would be on the 4-hour crossing the daily up and above 20, which was here, or we can stay on that trade until the daily crosses up, which is essentially now. So that would be over 200 points. Obviously, there's more risk involved the longer you stay there, because this bounce, the daily, takes longer to close, and the bounce can be strong and take you back to break even. But nevertheless, this is the setup we're looking for again, but it's still early for it. We want that daily to move further. Maybe if not, I'd say this is potentially a good entry in a day or two. If it happens in a day or two when the daily is higher, similar to what happened here, right? You see, when it was higher here. Yesterday, what we were talking about was to take the age 1 entry short, which would be similar to this one here that we had in the past, both here, actually one before. You see when that red line crossed the daily down, the daily was already flat. Sorry, the red line on the 1 hour crossed the H4 down, and the H4 was already flat. And as I said, if you stay until it crosses back, that is your trade there for about 45 points. On the second instance, where the daily was lower here, this is a risky trade because you have less room to the downside, but you can see the channel here still had room to it, so you could have taken that. And the exit would be here when it crosses back, so around here, 35 points there. So this is what we were looking for yesterday. Obviously, the cross did not happen, and now even the 4 hour is above 80, so you're not looking into a short again until that 4 hour comes down below 80, and then I will be looking for the cross of the daily 4 hour and daily cross. Until then, we sit tight and we wait. It's true for all of the US stocks, NASDAQ, the Dow, the S&P, and also for the FTSE and DAX. They are very similar setups. On the FTSE, if we look at the previous setup here, it was on this one. You can see it moved to the previous lows quite easily. This one, there wasn't much room. I wouldn't personally take it. I like when there is more room on the daily stochastics there. Oh, sorry, 4 hour in this case. But again, it's personal choice. It's just that those crosses really work when we have oversold stochastics on higher time frames. So that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching, and hope that helps.